let's talk about red flags. What are they? Well, it can be anything that activates the fight, flight, freeze, that gets in the way of having a healthy win-win scenario, despite wanting to be successful. Many families, couples I work with, they are just desperate to be successful. So the red flags can also put people at risk for self-defeating behaviors or damaging their relationships even more. So those are what I call red flags. So I'm just going to show you the red flags checklist that's in your handouts. But the question is, think about, what do you see as a major red flag? And I'm not going to take the time to do that right now, but just think for a minute. What is a major red flag you've seen most often in your practice or in your personal life? What's the biggest red flag? And identify that, and let's see if it's on the list as we move forward. What intimacy blocking red flags have you seen personally and professionally? So here's a few of them. And some of these are from the passive, some of these are from the aggressive, some of these are from passive aggressive. So all of them can be problematic, from setting assertive limits and boundaries to being overcritical of yourself and others. So these are some of the intimacy blockers that block family or couples intimacy. Sometimes I move in the middle when having to be in total control, because at an early age, I learned if I wasn't in control, I could be seriously hurt or might even end up dead. And that was definitely true in the Marine Corps. Now, always worrying about what other people think of me. When I first started on the international speaker circuit in about 1996, my mentor, Terry Gorski, he died a couple of years ago, but Terry would always have us give our participants evaluations, like, you're going to fill out an evaluation after this. And I always learned from the evaluations, but I used to dread them, because if I didn't get perfect scores, I thought I was a total failure, because what you thought about me had some kind of hold on me. And I had to let go of that. Down at the bottom, you'll see confusing love with pity. That can be a big one in some dysfunctional, codependent, counterdependent type relationships. Then let's look at the next list. On this list, feeling guilty for taking self-care, positive self-care. Anybody identify with that one? My biggie on here, and the reason I put it on here is my biggie's fearing rejection and abandonment. That comes from real early life and history of dysfunctional relationships, including my first marriage. Saying yes when I should have said no. The big one for me has been taking on too much in order to please others. This program that I was the co-founder and the chief clinical officer for, near the end, I found myself working 70, 80 or more hours a week, wearing several different hats. It damn near killed me. And at one point, when the program ended, I was very upset, but on the other side, I was very grateful. How many of you ever have a difficult time taking a compliment and making excuses why it's not? That's not me. You must be mistaking me for somebody else. A big one that I see a lot of people do is they deny, minimize, or repress their emotions. So when you look at all these red flags, I'm asking you to look through them from personal and professional lenses.